From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, November 7th, 2022. Winter has settled in across western Canada. Temperatures here on Monday morning anywhere from minus 17, minus 15, minus 20 across portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan. The balmy side there, minus 3 in Winnipeg here on Monday morning. We see the satellite imagery here depicting a very big trough. Big area of upper level low pressure right here off the Pacific coast. Another area of moisture being delivered to portions of western Canada, the Pacific Northwest, and the Canadian Prairie. That's delivering another corridor of accumulating snow to portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan as we head through the next 48 hours. Another 6 to 10 inches of snow coming. It's already falling across a wide chunk of Alberta. Edmonton, Calgary, Medicine Hat, all seeing snow flying here on Monday morning, and that will continue to expand into portions of Saskatchewan as we head through the next 12, 18, 24 hours. You can see that here. We'll look at the NAM model. We'll put this into motion. Let me go ahead and pause it here. We'll bring it back to Monday morning. Here we go. Again, snow falling in Edmonton, Calgary, and Medicine Hat. As we head through the middle of the day into the evening, we see snow expanding across southern Saskatchewan. Snowflakes will be falling here in Regina by the time we get to late evening, expanding into Saskatoon by the time we get to sunset early tonight. Now we take this on into Tuesday morning. Start to see that snow beginning to taper off here across portions of southern Alberta into southwestern Saskatchewan as we get into the early morning hours on Tuesday, and then snow tapering off across Edmonton, Saskatoon, and Regina as we get into the kind of mid-morning hours on Tuesday. Now, this could speed up. Maybe we see the snow come to an end here on Tuesday, early morning across the entire prairie, areas north of Highway 16. But the main point here is the snow is heaviest as we head through the rest of the day today across Alberta, and then expanding into Saskatchewan as we head into the overnight here. The heaviest snow falls over the next probably 18 hours. Where is snow the heaviest? The heaviest accumulations here, where you see the darker purple and the darker blue and purple shading. Now that's what we're talking about, 6 to 10 inches of snow here falling over, again, the next 12 to 18 hours. Maybe some snowflakes, but not much in the way of accumulation as you get into farther southeastern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba. Winds also not a huge issue with this. Still, when you get winds gusting 35, 40 kilometers per hour with heavy snow falling, that's going to create some issues and really exacerbate the visibility concerns. So not an easy next 24 hours across Alberta and Saskatchewan. But again, not talking about a huge blizzard here with winds gusting, 60 to 100 kilometers per hour. Just a bit gusty with some periods of heavy snow as we head through the day today and on into the overnight. Now here's the jet stream right now. Again, big ridge across the Pacific, trough just off the Pacific coast, and then we've just got fast jet stream flow racing across the Canada and the U.S. border. Some really strong flow, and as such, we've seen some really intense areas of low pressure tracking across the region. Again, an active storm track across the U.S. and Canadian border. We'll put this into motion. We continue to see that same look over the next 3-4 days before we kind of shift it. We move the trough to the east, and what that does is it sets the Canadian Prairie and Western Canada back up into a situation where we will move away from having strong flow blasting into the region with areas of low pressure developing and tracking, from southwest to northeast with these corridors of heavy snow being delivered across the region. This has really been a textbook setup for heavy snow across the region. Active pattern, favorable storm track, significant precipitation. What we get as we get into the end of the week, into next week, we go back to this pattern where we've got storm systems coming out of the north, coming out of the northwest to the southeast. So what this does for us here, when we've got these quick moving systems coming from northwest to southeast, we get shots of cold, dry air. So minimal precipitation, flurries, but shots of, reinforcing cold, dry air across the region. I'm going to skip ahead of this animation and then just jump straight into the height pattern because this really illustrates it as well. The trough shifts to the east. We build high pressure back in across, the border between the Pacific Ocean and Western Canada here. Let's go ahead and pause this and show you the timing on that. Again, over the next 5 days, deep trough, strong jet stream flow blasting into the region. As we head into the weekend early next week, we flip the script. The trough moves off to the east. Now we've got a ridge. We've got northwest to southeast flow across the region, shots of cold, dry air, the source region off to the north and to the west. So here's the precipitation forecast then that accompanies all of this. We've got the heavy snow that moves across portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan as we go through the day today into tonight. Here's the look on Tuesday afternoon. Snow moving off to the north into the east. As we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it's late week that we see another storm right now forecast to take a track a little further east, missing the Prairie with most of its snow. Winnipeg maybe getting some of that snow on the northern edge here. That's likely to be a pretty sharp edge on the north side of that storm system. So we'll see how this shifts maybe north-south over the next couple of days. But that's the next big low that sweeps through before we kind of shift the pattern and we start talking about these clippers that are coming in over the top of that ridge. Here you see all the opportunities for light snow and flurries. This would be next Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Shots of cold air, light doses of snow. So between now and Saturday, over the next 5 days, the probability of picking up 3 inches or more of snowfall is what you're seeing on this map. The red shading here is where we get from, above 90% chance. And so here's your corridor that we see 6 to 10 inches falling here over the next couple of days. This Monday, Tuesday storm is tracking across the region, and then the opportunities for lighter snow coming in on the backside as we get into the late part of the week. Here is the storm track currently being forecast with the late week storm, this one coming in around Friday. Right now, the most likely corridor for the heaviest snow with that, tracking from the North Dakota, South Dakota border, north into northern Minnesota, far southeastern Manitoba, and then off into Ontario. So, where is the snow going to be the lightest, I guess you can say, over the next week or so? We'll be focusing on this corridor here. Not really going to help if I draw it the same shade, but southeastern Saskatchewan, portions of southern Manitoba, you're kind of in between the storms here as we talk about the next 7 days. So still plenty cold and still chances for some snowflakes, but the better chance for accumulating snow across Alberta and western Saskatchewan today and tonight, and then late week across portions of southeastern Manitoba. Those temperatures are going to continue to be cold. We'll see this recent, whatever you want to call it, surge of really cold air begin to moderate slightly over the next few days, but with the pattern kind of rearranging such that we've got a ridge to the west and a trough to the east, we're going to continue to see those shots of cold air. So temperatures in the days 5 to 10, 10 to 15 time frame, they're going to be shifting around a bit, but my money is on another shot of pretty cold air coming in as we get into probably November 20th, 21st, 22nd, maybe into the last 10 days of November.